What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Pieces of a Woman, the newest Netflix original movie that's directed by Kornél Mundruczó. Now, before we begin, hey, if you like my channel, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you liked the video, awesome, hit that like button, and as always, comment below on any video that you watch, including this one. So, Pieces of a Woman is about a character named Martha, who of course is played by Vanessa Kirby. She's getting ready to have a kid with her partner Sean, who's played by Shia LeBeouf. And during the birth of the child, they unfortunately lose the child because the midwife made a mistake. And now the midwife's not only on trial, but she's possibly convicted for manslaughter. And in the process, this movie basically plays along in the fact that we have Vanessa Kirby's character basically trying to cope and trying to deal with not only losing her child, but kind of the ending portions of her, marriage with her husband or with her partner, and kind of having to deal with the relationships with her, kind of overbearing mother who's starting to have onset dementia, who's played by Burstyn, and her sister who's played by Iliza Shelsinger. And it basically just follows Martha's character in a realistic scenario where she has to kind of put the pieces back together, she has to heal, and what happens to a person when they have to deal with something so tragic and so difficult that it causes a complete change in their character and so on and so forth. So this movie is getting a lot of hype for Vanessa Kirby alone, for her performance and her portrayal as a woman who loses a child. Ellen Burstyn is also getting a lot of hype and Oscar buzz for her portrayal about the overbearing mother and so on and so forth. And it's a movie that is dealing with a very realistic situation, a very uncomfortable situation with what is it like to lose a child? Did they do the right things? And is what is happening to this midwife, who was actually a replacement for their other midwife, what is happening to her? Is it justified? And it's a movie that is very kind of difficult to watch because you're having to deal with all these kind of emotions and these scenarios. And what does it take for somebody to truly heal? And so this movie, which releases today on Netflix, January 7th, is a movie that I kept hearing about, like I said, through the buzz of Oscar, buzz and stuff like that. And so I, reached out to Netflix. Thank you for Netflix allowing me to watch this early. So after watching this movie, after taking everything in, after kind of contemplating, because I'm doing this review a day later after I watched this movie sticks with me on the simple aspect of how good of a performance Vanessa Kirby is giving. She is going to be a superstar, and she, if not already, she will be in the future. This performance between this, Carey Mulligan, and Viola Davis is going to be an interesting kind of Oscar season when it comes to who wins the Oscar for Best Actress, because I've already seen two great performances, and there's other performances, I'm sure, but what Vanessa Kirby is doing in this movie is so emotionally raw, so powerful, so just deeply moving, just to see her have to deal with not only the loss of her child, but the kind of falling apart of her relationship with Sean, to having to deal with her overbearing mother who is having on-site dementia. It's just to have to put all that emotion into a character like that, to see this character have to heal through all that, to see just somebody just kind of put everything into their soul to make this character work. It's incredible. It really is. Vanessa Kirby is going to be an A-list star, in a few years, if not after this movie. And I'm happy for her. It's like Carey Mulligan in Promising Young Woman. It's just a performance for the ages. It's a performance that truly kind of sets these actresses apart. And it's not like there's never been another actress that's done this, but you're seeing two actresses that have been working in Hollywood for a while just give truly career remarkable performances. And Vanessa Kirby is just on another level in this movie. She is just powerful and emotional and just resonant. And I think with the fact that this material that from the director and the writer, that because it's so realistic, I think that's what makes the character work in such a powerful way. And it's just, it's crazy. It really is. But Vanessa Kirby is fantastic in this movie. It's one of the best performances I've seen this year, and she definitely deserves an Oscar nomination, if not a win. It's going to be interesting to see between the three actresses who honestly wins this year. But it's a career level performance. It really is. And then we got Ellen Burstyn, who plays Elizabeth, who's also giving a great Oscar worthy performance, just in the simple fact that she has this one scene. Like, there's a lot of movies where you'll watch where there's like this one scene that truly elevates the performance of that character. character. And Ellen Burstyn has that scene in this movie where she's confronting the Vanessa Kirby character with something that happened in her past. And I still think Requiem for a Dream is Ellen Burstyn's best film. I think what she did in that movie is incredible. But Ellen Burstyn has proven once again how amazing of an actress she has always been. And her emotional rawness and the fact that she is giving, that dementia situation and, everything that she's had to deal with, the reasoning behind why she doesn't like Sean, the reasoning behind what she's trying to push forward to Martha is incredible to watch. It's, there's probably a guarantee that she gets a supporting actress nod, but it's an incredible thing to watch what Ellen Burstyn can do when given the right script. Like Anthony Hopkins and The Father, the idea of what these characters have to go through with the issues that they have, it's pretty remarkable. But Ellen Burstyn's really good in this movie. But the one kind of understated, remarkable performance that a lot of people aren't talking about, and I think should be in the contention for possibly Oscar consideration, is Shia LaBeouf's Shane character. And the reason I don't think he's getting consideration is because of how powerful Vanessa Kirby and Ellen Burstyn's characters are. But Shia LaBeouf has had a very interesting trajectory to his career between Transformers and Holes and even Stevens or something like that, where he was put into this kind of status of just being heartthrob, and then he kind of fell apart and everything just kind of went to crap. And then he started having a resurgence where he started to go to the kind of indie route where he was in stuff like Nymphomaniac, the Lars Trier movie, and all of a sudden he was in Honey Boy, which he wrote, which was a remarkable film. It's like one of my favorites of last year. And then he did The Peanut Butter Falcon, which unfortunately I didn't watch till this year, which is another great performance. And here we are with, he's done other films, but here we are with Pieces of a Woman. And to watch a character or an actor like Shia LaBeouf just give a raw performance like he is, and he is doing a little samey of what he's known for doing, which is a very rough and tumble human being. It's just showing you how complex, how emotionally resonant Shia LaBeouf can be as an actor, and to watch him kind of go through the emotions of losing a child, to watch kind of the collapse of his partnership with the Vanessa Kirby character, to watch how he gets into kind of a relationship with the cousin who's played by Sarah Snook, to how he just handles himself and so on and so forth. It's a performance that is not going to get any Oscar love, but it's a very Oscar buzz worthy performance. And I think Shia LaBeouf does a really nice job with the character. And I think he is one of the stronger characters in the movie. Like I said, Sarah Snook and Iliza Shlesinger are in this movie, but they don't really have much to do. They're just kind of, there as tertiary characters. But Shia LaBeouf's character gets the raw end of the deal in this movie. But what he has to deal with and how his character is motivated and how he performs his character, it's pretty remarkable. And I give Shia LaBeouf a lot of credit for doing something that, is very raw and emotional. And he's on a different level than he used to be. And he's giving great performances. And he's going to get the recognition he eventually deserves. But watching between Honey Boy, Peanut Butter Falcon, and this, it really shows you the true range that Shia LaBeouf has. So, but with all that said, with all the characters out of the way, this movie does falter after the birthing death scene that happens very early in the movie. It cuts really, really quickly between the different months and years, basically the different months and seasons of the year that this takes place. It's so quick and so sporadic and so erratic that sometimes it just feels like there's not a lot of time spent with the characters, but what's spent with the characters is pretty emotional. But sometimes I just felt like where they were trying to place the characters, where they were trying to have the characters, the beats and stuff like that they were going with, sometimes didn't feel like it was fully completed or fully whole. And it does lean into some problems with plotting and structure and editing. It doesn't make it bad, but this is more of a character showpiece than it is a story piece. And it really starts to show. There are movies like this where the emotional resonance of the actors and the characters themselves are much more stronger than the material that they're given. And like I said, once that birthing death scene happens, it starts to slowly kind of fall apart as it goes along. And then we get to the end with the whole trial scene with the midwife, and there's a point in there where it gets kind of fantastical and unrealistic. And I just didn't really care for that very much. So the movie as a whole is good. It's interesting. But like I said, it wouldn't be as interesting if it weren't for Vanessa Kirby and Shia LaBeouf and, of course, Ellen Burstyn. So with that said, it's a movie that you go in to watch the acting and the raw emotions of the acting, but the story's just not fully there. So... But with that said, that is going to be my take on this movie, Pieces of a Woman. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below, what is the hardest movie you've ever had to watch? Was it something like this? Was it something like Angela's Ashes, which was the hardest movie I've ever had to watch? Schindler's List, all that good stuff. But let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, if you like my channel, of course, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.